All right, to a developing story now that involves one of Australia's biggest, I think it actually is the biggest, home builder, Metricon, which is feared to be at risk of financial collapse. The building giant is reported to be in crisis talks with major clients, including the Victorian government, amid ongoing concerns it could be forced into liquidation. Earlier this week, the company co-founder and CEO, Mario Basin, died unexpectedly. For more on this, Ross Greenwood joins us now. He's the business editor here at Sky News. Well, Ross, this is a very, very significant story. Even in the last days of a federal election, it is cutting through. Is it on the brink of collapse?
The company says tonight no. Peter Langfelder, the acting chief executive, has come out and said that they are capable of paying their bills. But of course, this raises more nerves inside the construction industry, given the fact that already this year we've seen the collapse of ProBuild and another Condev in Queensland, both of them significant construction companies. But the problems of the construction industry are exactly the same, and that is where they've entered fixed-priced contracts and then suddenly found themselves having costs rise significantly, be it wages or materials, or in fact there are delays. So here is the statement this afternoon. It's come from Peter Langfelder, the acting chief executive, a long-term viable business, strong history of performance. So it's got all of those things. So to put in some perspective, it is Australia's largest home builder. In the last financial year, it built some 6,000 homes. It's got 4,000 homes under construction right now. With the Victorian government, it's got $195 million worth of construction underway, and you sense that that contract is absolutely pivotal to this business's survival. And so as a result, the management of the company Metricon today went in and met with the Treasurer, Tim Pallas, and whatever conversations they had, it'd be fascinating to then argue to the or to put to the state government as to what they did to make certain this company survived. It is important it survives, I should say, but in other cases like Condev and also in the case of ProBuild, they didn't. But in this case, it seems to be more important, with 2,500 employees, that the Victorian government wanted this company to stay alive.
Do you think the Victorian government, the Treasurer there, Tim Pallas, has had conversations with the bank? I mean, as far as the Victorian government would be concerned, given those contracts with the government, with taxpayers, this is almost a company that's too big to fail.
It could be too. In fact, this is an interesting point about this, because with many of these businesses that are got these fixed price contracts, the developers who are actually paying those builders, if they don't cut them slack and the builders go broke, well, obviously they also have fundamental problems. Now, in this case, because it's such a big employer, such a big company itself, it could well be, as is in the case with many other big property developers right now, they are cutting slack, but they also have to pass on the costs. Bit easier, as you'd imagine, Peter, for a government to actually pass on those costs than maybe a private developer.